son.
Come on, son. What's up, everybody? Ballard here. Chris Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live on a Wednesday night. I figure we hang out, talk some sports a little bit. I got no class tomorrow. I normally have English. We have an essay due, which I got turned in tonight. It had to be, so the first essay I did was 700 to 900 words on how I got to Wallace State, which is where I go. You know, grandmother and I were joking. Said, we'll buy a car. No kidding. But this next one was like this comparison essay. So I compared, I stuck to some sports. I didn't know if I wanted to do basketball and baseball or football, but I compared the Winter Olympics and the Summer Olympics, but you know what I did miss, what got feedback on last week or maybe yesterday on Tuesday in class was that not only did I have to compare topics, I had to persuade why one was better than the other, why I prefer one over the other. I'm like, okay. And quite honestly, I was thinking, I prefer summer. I don't care which one anyone picks. I'm not going to persuade anyone to pick one Olympic over the other, but fine, for the essay, I'll do it. So I hope it was all, good and everything. I would hope. So I got that turned in tonight. I think it's due tomorrow morning at like 10:45. It said 2 sources, rough draft, outline, all that. I'm like, okay. So I got it. Anyway, I hope everyone had an amazing day. I hope everyone's having a great week so far too. Yeah, we're coming up on November. Well, I don't know. It's still the middle of October. Not quite to Halloween yet. Did you guys know? Saban is going to be 70 years old. 70 years old on Halloween. That's crazy. He looks great for his age. Anyway, so what is Alabama? Are they trying to prove something this week against Mississippi State? Are they trying to go out and actually prove something? Do you guys think, or hold on. Okay, what was I trying to get at? Oh, is Alabama trying to prove something this week against Mississippi State? They're trying to show that loss was just a bad game, right? Is it? Oh, well, that's just because A&M and Jimbo did what he said was going to do. I don't know, but they're trying to prove that they're not on this downfall. I've given Alabama enough crap this week. They're not a bad team. Bryce is not a bad quarterback, but it is not their year. Would it be the biggest surprise that they win back-to-back titles? But let's be honest, it would kind of be a little bit of a shocker because it's very hard to repeat. And Alabama, in its history, with all the titles that they won, has only done it 2 times. One time did Saban do that. And it was 2011 and 2012. In those years, what's up, Jacob? I'll drop the link in a minute if y'all want to come on. 2011 and 2012. They had everybody back. The difference about this year, they could still win a title, but at least in 2011, 2012, again, they had everybody back. Trent Richards, TJ Yeldon, AJ McCarron. They had a returning quarterback, AJ McCarron, which how he doesn't have a Heisman is beyond me. I'm not saying that he should have had one because he's a better quarterback, but I mean, the records that he put up, he has the passing touchdown record. Actually, I think Tua broke it a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken, but like yardage and everything, holy cow. They went back to back. They had Yeldon. They had McCarron. I think they had Amari Cooper in both of those years. Eddie Lacy was a key running back in 2012. Holy cow. I mean, they had everybody. Seriously. D'Andrew White, Trey Priest. You know, I mean, they had a few key guys there. CJ Mosley was a key guy. Clinton Dix, Landon defense. Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, they had Amari Cooper. He was just starting to take off. But thank you for that, Watson. That's right. He wasn't. They had Amari Cooper, but he wasn't. You know, as effective as maybe 13 or 14. What's up, Nate? Jacob says, let me read this crap. Pull this up. All right. 29. 2009 to 2012 were the prime years of Alabama. They're still the greatest dynasty ever, but that was the most dominant part of the Alabama dynasty. I mean, it was very unique, and I'd say that was probably their best defense. And at the time, still, like, you know, defense was winning the championships and everything. I'd say that for the most part. I just would say that, yeah, I mean, they won, 3 titles in a 4-year span? It's like, okay, Nick Saban comes on the scene in 2007. They went like 6-6, right? They lost to freaking ULM. I know y'all clown it, Chess clowns it, but then they went from that to, in 2008, winning the West. And they make it to Atlanta, and they lose to Tim Tebow. Of course, Tim Tebow won like 2 out of 4 or 3 championships, whatever it was. 2008 Alabama. Well, guess what? They were number 24 in the nation. Right out of the gate, they played number 9. They had a top 10 opponent in Clemson. They blew them suckers out. That defense that year was amazing. They blew them out 34-10. Then they go play cupcake teams like Tulane and Western Kentucky, right? They blow out Arkansas. They play a close game, pull away by 11 points against Georgia. They play Kentucky. They play Ole Miss, and they kept playing and playing. They finally get an Iron Bowl win for the first time in a while. They win in Tuscaloosa, 36-0 over Auburn. But then, of course, they get to Atlanta. They were 12-0 against Florida. They were the number 1 team. Florida beats them. And then they lose a ball game to Utah. Well, the next year they get fueled. They bring everybody back. They figured out to use Greg McElroy because I think they still had John Parker Wilson at quarterback. I know he was in 2007. But they pick things up. They have Greg McElroy. He comes on the scene. Oh my God, the defense in '09 too. What carried it? I mean, Mark Ingram was the Heisman winner, hell of a back. But my God, that defense. Oh, Marcel Darius, Terrence Cody. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, man. It was incredible. You had Lorenzo Washington, a key guy too. Javier Arenas was a corner. He was amazing. But 2009, see, I think it started the fact that they got to the SEC title and Nick Saban did it in year two was 2008, kind of the start of the well, I mean, it started putting attention on Alabama and Nick Saban. Well, Nick Saban did that. That was a huge hire. The fact that he wasn't going to take the job and everything, but he comes along. He takes the job in '07. It sucks a little. But then in 2008, and they make it to Atlanta. Yeah, they lost, but holy cow, look what he did in his first year and a half. Took them to an SEC title. They haven't been to that in a long time. Okay. 2009, he goes, not only wins the title, he's undefeated. And not only that, a lot of people picked Florida to make it a third or fourth straight year with Tim Tebow. He's the real deal. Mark Ingram stole Tim Tebow's Heisman or whoever's Heisman. He wins a Heisman Trophy. They beat the Gators. They go to Pasadena in the Rose Bowl for the BCS title, 37-21 over Texas, which I know that Texas quarterback got hurt or whatever. Would it have made a difference if he kept playing? Maybe. I don't know, but that defense did not let up. 37-21, they get the win, the start of something great. But I mean, then 2010 happens, and they're like, okay, what's up with this now? And then they win in 2011. They went back to back in 2012, and they said, oh my God, Saban, really? I mean, I don't know where it started that this was a dynasty, but the start of something amazing, I think, happened. Forget that national title, but beating the Gators in 2009, Nick Saban said after the national championship, this is not the end. This is the beginning. You know, it just, yeah. Should have hired Rich Rodriguez. That was going to be the guy, Jacob, was Rich Rodriguez, if not Nick Saban. I don't want to sit here and say we should have hired him. Although I know what you're getting at. You don't want Saban. That's fair. You don't want that to happen. Oh no, the dynasty's not going to end. And quite honestly, I know he's not coming to Tuscaloosa, but quite honestly, I don't want Dabo to come to Tuscaloosa. I'm sorry, but no. What a crybaby. He whines because he wins the national title in 2019, blows out Bama, and all he wants to talk about in his post-game presser, go back and listen. Well, they talk about best ever all year long. We never in the conversation. Shut up. You were undefeated. Everyone talked about Trevor Lawrence. Everybody, you were in the top 4 the whole freaking season. Nobody mentioned you. Whatever. Anyway. I guess. I was just kind of bringing up some history. That's all it was, bud. That's it. I guess I'll drop the link. I don't care. Y'all can come on. Let y'all on for the final few, what's left. As this year's almost coming to an end, this channel, with it. But what's up, Jacob?
What's up, Ballard? Oh, my name is the same from the other stream.
Hey, you need to change that.
It's a quote from the Alabama from Kentucky guy. It was like Bryce Young will never lose to 2 good legs or something.
Y'all enjoy coming on here while you can. I mean, the channel's been great and all, but
Hey, do you know who else is a crybaby?
Who?
Whiny Day.
Who?
Ryan Day.
Oh yeah.
Here's gonna be my name today.
General.
All the great defense players come to Kirby. They did at Alabama, now they're doing it for Georgia.
He was not the factor at Alabama,
What?
And plus,
he was. Now he was a great coordinator, but let's be honest. Is he a national title head coach?
Look,
No.
I'm sorry, Ballard. He got those defensive players.
Well, okay.
Saban built that man.
Okay, fine. But he got those defensive players.
Now, what he's doing at Georgia's on his own. Saban's got nothing to do with it.
Well,
if you're going to sit there and act like he was the reason we got guys like Terrence Cody and all that, you are insane.
All the great defense players come to Kirby. That's my point. When he was the defensive coordinator at Alabama, they came to Kirby. Now he's the head coach.
Well, he's fixing he's fixing to hit his ceiling again and win an SEC title. That's all he can do. That's his height. That's his standard. That's his game.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. That's what he wants to win is an SEC title.
And then he wants to win the Natty because he knows if he wins SEC, he's going to win the Natty. He knows it. There's no one else even in competition with Georgia and Alabama. I mean, Ohio State might get there.
Now hold on.
What?
You realize? Okay, I have been saying Georgia's going to win it this year. You know that. I'm sticking to that. He's going to go beyond what he can do because he can't. I mean, he can make a national title, but let's be honest. And I'm not going to take anything away, but you did beat a pretty bad Auburn team to get there. Not taking anything away from Georgia. But now, if you face whoever comes out of the West, because quite honestly, too, if you look at it, I figured this out the other day.
Kentucky, where's it in the East?
Kentucky, Jesus.
No. Kentucky's in the East. Holy crap!
I didn't know. So I'm not.
You have to face a tough test against Kentucky. It might, you might sit there and say it'll be a cakewalk for Georgia, but Kentucky's got some talent. Let me explain something to you too. This whole Alabama, Georgia for the SEC title, we can't wait for it. We don't know if Alabama's winning the West because let me tell you what I saw. Auburn might have 2 losses, but they are in a position of 2017 where their 2 losses at least that year it was maybe LSU. But that was 1 conference loss.
I hope not.
I hope if they win the rest of their games, get to the Iron Bowl, the SEC West is on the line.
I wouldn't say this in any other years of Georgia, but this year I want Bama in the SEC title.
Why?
Who else?
You're not going to beat Nick Saban. Kirby cannot beat Nick Saban.
Yeah, he can. Look, we basically
hasn't come close.
Huh? We out-talent Alabama this year. That's all.
What? All right, that's fair. We don't have players.
Ballard. Now, don't say that Kirby can't beat Saban if Jim
he hasn't yet. I mean, he's got to prove himself.
And that's another thing too. Alabama
prove that he can.
And this is not being biased to Georgia. I think this is one of the rare years where there's a team that literally out-talents Alabama.
Whoa. And it's Georgia? That's real. That's what makes it even more of a hot take because they're normally not even
And I know I'm a Georgia fan. And the other 2 times I think it's happened was, well, besides 2007, 2008 with Florida and 2018 with Clemson. Those are the other 2 times it happened.
Now, I was gonna say before we
and this year with A&M, right?
Yeah.
A&M.
A&M's better. That's what happened. I'm sorry, but
no, that's not it.
Wait, did you, Ballard? I don't know if you did or not. Do you really think you want Bryce Young bench?
I don't actually mean that. I was just pissed off because of the loss. I'm over it now.
I was being.
You were just mad that day.
Although I'll be honest, I would like to see Paul Tyson get some more reps on the field.
I was being a jerk by uploading the video. I don't know why I did.
Which one?
It was the bench Bryce Young video.
You said that?
No. It was,
or did you upload me?
Yeah.
Why?
Did you take it down?
I don't know. People are telling me not to.
Jacob.
Jiggy. Okay, whatever.
I just
take it down because Ballard just doesn't.
I was gonna take it down, but then Crimson
Did
Brave.
You seriously upload that?
Don't listen to Crimson Brave because he's some.
Crimson Brave and Tiger Baskins and a bunch of other people in the chat told me not.
Dude, you need to fucking take my stuff off your channel. I did not give you consent.
All right,
I'm just saying. You uploaded 2 of my videos. Ballard's thoughts on Georgia. Ballard says bench Bryce Young.
Okay,
I'm not even subscribed to you. First off, I had to go search your channel.
I know. I was just, I don't know.
I don't
care, but I mean, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it kind of is. I think what happened is I just got, I guess, a little bit. I was just too much on Alabama losing. I wanted to expose every Alabama fan in the building, so I grabbed the Alabama fan from Kentucky, posted that video. I think I posted another one. I just did too much. But I mean, look, Alabama hasn't lost in over 2 years, so it kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah, for everybody calling me an idiot for saying that Alabama's not going to make the playoffs.
You found a video?
Keep dreaming.
Yeah.
Me saying Oregon.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm.
What y'all think about the John Gruden stuff?
I haven't heard really a lot about it, but
the chat basically told me to just not do it again, but delete the videos up because I think it's funny.
Well, whatever.
Oh, that's not. Just take it down. It's.
Huh?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that before you talked about the Bama and King of the West, whatever it is, who's going to win the West. I was going to say about the crybaby suggestion or discussion. The reason why I said Ryan Day is a crybaby. After that, there's two press conferences. One year was Clemson, and the other year was Bama. So he's a crybaby.
All right.
I don't know if you saw that press conference where Bama destroyed Ohio State.
How about this?
Did you see that press conference or no?
Well. All right, how about this? I won't upload any of those videos again without permission.
You can't upload videos, but you can't copy or whatever it is, right? You can't just upload other people's stuff, but you can upload your stuff. That's all.
I've done that with a lot of channels that I'll find a funny clip and then I'll just upload it to mine for some reason.
Yeah, I get it. I just giving you some tips. So yeah.
I won't do it again. I don't know. Overall, I wasn't really. I guess I just got too cocky about Alabama losing. And then I just.
People thought it was funny because I don't know why people hate Alabama, but
maybe for titles, maybe.
I mean, they're just better than all of y'all. Y'all got to suck it up.
Okay, Ballard, calm down.
I'm not gonna start this now, but overall
Not
talent.
this year. They suck. They don't have anything.
Let's say push it best. More experienced talent, absolutely. Georgia's the edge this year. See, that's what I'm saying. Georgia just other years like
finally has a championship.
No, it's like the other years, 2017 and 2018, it was about equal. 2020, y'all had more talent, but now we have more talent.
Well, see, Georgia's back to being a national contender. I mean, they've been on that level, but let's be honest, the other teams before this year were not going to get back to the playoffs.
Yeah, like Michigan,
they
haven't been a contender.
They're back to their standard. Is to win the SEC, but I know they can do more.
Well, if
Kirby just wants to win the SEC.
Well, okay. Well, if some teams, Clemson, lift up to expectations, they'd have a chance.
Dabo should be fired.
I hate to say it.
Because this job this year sucks.
Good thing we played Clemson.
It's probably just this year, but I'm not saying that they will be good next. I don't know. They might be just off year for this year. I might be wrong. Just saying, but if you know what I mean, like if they have like a bad year, I get it. What do you have next year for the schedule? Probably easy.
Who, Georgia?
Oh, they have Georgia?
No. Who are you talking about?
The Clemson Tigers, whoever it is.
Oh, they got Notre Dame.
Notre Dame next year? Okay.
But I mean, what was I going to say?
I mean,
wow.
If it's like some easy schedule, they're probably going to get in for next year. I don't know. I'm not going to say it, but
Kirby Smart is a decent head coach. Who am I kidding? He's great. Is he an elite head coach?
No.
Pretty damn close. I'll say that.
Close.
He needs to have more like
SEC.
No, if he wins the Natty, he's an elite head coach. I don't want to hear it.
Well, he needs to have that mindset of we need to win a championship. We want to win a championship, and he needs to.
The Georgia players. You're the Georgia players on their fourth touchdown against, or when they scored 34 on Auburn, their fourth touchdown. They told Auburn fans, they said, "This is our year. This is our year." That's our mindset. This is our year.
Well, jeez.
I mean, look, we have SEC coaches complimenting our defense in random press conferences. That when Georgia's not even playing them next week. That's how good Georgia's been. It was pretty equal the other years, and then y'all had more talent last year, but I think this is Georgia's year. If we don't win it this year, well, then I don't know when we're going to win it, honestly.
Well, at the very least, just focus on winning the SEC and see if you can do that.
Well, you know.
I mean, I know you did it in 2017, but like I said, man, and I'm not taking anything away.
We didn't beat
Auburn. What?
I said we didn't beat Alabama.
That's not, I mean, what Kirby's going for, but just
he's trying to get to the Natty and that's the whatever I just said.
You know, one thing I do disagree with about Jeff Webster, though, is him saying our defense is going to get a lot worse after we lose our talent this year. That's not true. Our defense is
that's not true either.
How much are you losing? A lot or a little?
We're losing everybody, but look, Kirby's always going to have a great defense at Georgia. That's like Alabama.
It's going to be now. It's not going to suck, but it's not going to be as bad.
I mean, we're basically
Or as good.
okay,
As
fine.
good.
We're losing everybody. We're losing everybody, but Georgia's defense is always going to be good
develop.
as long as we're under Kirby Smart.
No.
That's just how it. All right. Well, what happened when he was the defensive coordinator at Alabama?
Well, let me tell you. Okay,
Alabama had some of the greatest defenses ever. What happened when he left? Look at Alabama now. That's all.
But is he elite? Is he elite?
Elite defensive coach? Yes. Elite head coach? He's got to win a natty.
He
first.
can't be a head coach. I think he needs to switch down to defensive coordinator.
Ballard, are you kidding me?
Come on.
He asked you a simple question.
You guys need an offense. You're defensive good this year. Again. Just be honest.
Our defense is doing it, and they're doing it in a national title way. So that's why we're going to win it. We don't – honestly, we could have me at quarterback, and we still win the natty.
Really?
Yeah. You just need a quarterback. That's what you just said.
We don't – well, we have Stetson Bennett. If we get JT Daniels, we'll be fine. See, maybe Stetson Bennett's improved a bit. Maybe he has.
Oh.
My most popular video is, it's the Uncle Lou Rob video where they got into that argument.
See what she's been through. Meredith's been through most professional stuff on the wives, and she's done a great job with our children, raising them in a Christian home, and that makes me proud. It makes me proud to be back in Athens and be part of this great community.
Now, if I know Kirby's a really good.
Kirby's a really good what?
Recruiter. That's it.
Is he elite though?
He's not elite.
Nate, I can't.
Now he's working on it, but I don't know if he's at
Nate,
that level.
your mic is messed up. I can't hear you.
He was asking if
I can't hear him. I can hear you.
He was asking if Kirby was a lead, and I was letting him know that he's working his way there. He's not there yet.
He's not there yet, but he will be there by. If he wins a natty, he's a lead.
Well, if he has an offensive minded in place.
No, he won't ever have that. He's going to stick to defense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now he'll have offense,
there's
but he needs to. He cannot handle it.
There's not an issue. There's not an issue with coordinator. There's not an issue with it. If you're great at defense, you're great at defense. Just like Alabama.
It's not just defense and win. Well, maybe today, yes. But
all right, well, let me ask a question. How did Alabama win their natties when Kirby was the defensive coordinator?
It
was defense and offense. That's simple.
It sure is not because of Greg McElroy, is it?
What's your
Saban won. Saban's the defensive mind.
And honestly, Kirby's a better defensive coach than Saban.
Oh,
whoa, that's a hot take.
Honestly,
I mean,
that's a shock.
And that's not taking shots. That's just being honest. Look at Alabama.
Is it really? Because Saban, I think, built that man. He had nothing before he came to Alabama.
If Saban was really a better defensive coach than Kirby, his defenses would still be shutting down teams today, and they don't.
So is Kirby to think?
Yeah, Kirby's a better defensive coach. I said it.
Because of Kirby. Coming soon. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's just the offense, okay, whatever. But Kirby's a better defensive coach than Saban.
Okay.
It's close.
Now, it seems like Saban has the offense figured out. And he's
no, we don't have offense figured out. Not this year.
Saban's a better offensive coach than Kirby is, at least.
Kirby can't, okay.
Kirby, it's not that he can't. Well, okay, maybe he
it's not that Kirby came to Tuscaloosa and gave Alabama defense.
No, well,
Nick Saban built that man.
Saban helped out, and maybe
Saban helped out. Oh my God.
Yes,
But Kirby was the leader of that defense.
No.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Oh, he was the mind, but Nick Saban, he's not. You know, what am I getting? Oh, I just cannot see how he is better at defense than Nick Saban is. I mean, if
Well,
you want to
okay,
talk about talent,
here's the reason why.
sure, but
And it's not just
coaching,
recruiting, but recruiting is defensive recruiting for sure. Because when he was at Alabama, talent came to Alabama. Now he's at Georgia. All the defensive talent's coming to Georgia. See how it flip
if you
flops?
win the SEC this year,
you're winning
and you don't win a title, at least you've done your job, Kirby.
Okay, well, he's a better defensive coach than Saban.
It's close. It's very
close.
It is a slim difference.
Like, there's like 99% close. Like, he's almost at 100%, but Saban's 100%. So he's slightly close.
It's close, but I don't fully fault Saban, by the way, for Alabama's defense this year because he's not the defensive coordinator; he's the head coach. But he's still
go ahead.
He's still a defensive coach and still is responsible for that. So it is a little bit his fault, but not all his fault.
Quick quiz question there.
What?
Who made? I wouldn't say made. Who developed Nick Saban to be a good coach?
What?
Oh, great crap! Coach. I gotta say Belichick.
What
I gotta go back to the Browns.
Correct.
Who developed Belichick. Nick Saban to get to where he is? I gotta say this, knowing about his history, his father was really tough on him, and he played football and everything, and his father was strict on perfection. But I gotta go back to the Browns and everything when he was a coordinator under Bill Belichick.
Yeah, exactly. Bill Belichick.
I mean,
Belichick's, I guess, a better overall coach than Saban.
I don't know if he's going to go with a college football. If he's not going to, I don't know. If it was going to go college football, it would be. What if Bill Belichick reunited with Saban and be the defense coordinator?
Well, okay, so you're saying if Belichick...
No, just for example, would that be OP, which is overpowered, or
with Saban's defensive coordinator and Belichick as coach?
No, I meant the other way around. Saban's head coach, Belichick is the defense coordinator.
Well, I think that would probably be overpowered, honestly.
Yeah.
But here's the one thing: the two coaches would probably argue with each other and probably think that they're alpha and they run the team.
Probably.
And I know this is a basketball example, but that's what happened with Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
so
true.
That might be the same thing with Nick and Bet. So that might actually not work, honestly.
Well, I mean, but you know what I mean. But
if they got along, that would be overpowered. But they're not going to get along, and we know that.
No. But that'd be. I'm not a Bama fan, but that'd be actually cool as a college football fan if that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How do you feel about Michigan this year?
Michigan, I'm still 50-50 on them. I'm still 50-50.
Well, they're beating. Okay. Look, Ohio State sucks this year. Let's just be honest.
Oh my Ballard! What? They suck, really?
They do.
They're the best team outside the SEC right now. What are you talking?
What?
About? Yes, they're doing the same thing as Oklahoma.
Michigan's beating them this year.
Okay, are you really going to define a team over one game? Really? Are you really going to define a team over one game?
Now, Ballard, if they don't beat Ohio State,
Harbaugh's gone.
Yep.
Well, first of all, I mean, should y'all really look? Harbaugh's not a bad.
Harbaugh's going to be gone. Well,
he's great.
They go 11-1 and lost to Ohio State though.
Y'all shouldn't fire Harbaugh until he starts going.
Well,
5-7.
He went to 11-1, but I don't know if he wins his division. if he goes 11-1 and one loss to Ohio State.
I don't care what his record is, unless he goes like 7-5 for 6
that'll
and
be
6.
That'll be his very best year then. I'm just to be real.
No, the year he should have won it was 2016, but he
no,
signed.
I'm telling you that if he does go 11-1, like one loss to Ohio State, that'll be a really good record for him in general. But yes, I agree with you, Jacob. They should have won that freaking game. If they should just kick the freaking field goal.
Man, you can't blow fourth quarter leads. You just can't do that.
Exactly. But
and that's what Michigan did. They had that game.
The teams
they should have gone for the freaking kill.
Michigan literally had a free playoff ticket. Well, yeah, they kind of did. Because
hey, what if I told you this? What if I told you this? Ohio State's defense is giving up more points than Michigan is. Michigan has a better defense.
Okay, and who's the best offense in the nation right now?
I don't know. We don't know. We don't even know who the best team is.
Stats are almost they're cool and all, but you also have to watch the games. And watching the games, Ohio State is the best offense right now.
In your opinion, maybe, but
no, there's no one else that really comes close.
I think I'm going to make a bold claim right now. I think the Big Ten championship will be Penn State and Iowa rematch. But
it's Iowa.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now.
What?
That the battle for second in the East behind Penn State will come down to Michigan and Ohio State. And if I'm betting, Michigan, this is the year Michigan at least beats Ohio State if they do anything.
All right.
This is it.
If you're right,
I think I'm going to pull a hot take here.
If you're right,
my uncle came on a few months ago and was saying it, Nate. Ohio State's just not that good this year.
And your uncle's the same person who said that your uncle's the same person who said that Georgia's going to lose 3 regular season games. So what advice should I take?
They still have time for that.
Oh, Lord. Well, I got into an argument with him about the Georgia-Clemson game, and who was right?
Yes.
I was.
And plus, I don't know if you still listen to Uncle Ballard, but anyway,
yeah.
I remember when he said, Uncle said that Ohio State for this year has no Chase Young, no Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa.
I don't care.
No Justin Fields.
They don't have defense, basically, right? They don't have a pass.
Or
quarterback,
maybe.
Wasn't he in an argument with that guy Go Bucks or something? Or is his name?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was on a college.
He's a good dude. I respect him, but I don't know.
That call. All right, Lou was wrong. He was. He said that Clemson's offense, and maybe we're all thinking the same thing, but let's just say that call did not age well for anybody, really.
Let me check the offensive team leaders' stats.
It doesn't matter. Ohio State's the best offense because they look like they're the best offense.
But I'm looking at ESPN now, so it's your opinion. I don't care, but
I get it, but Ohio State looks like they're the best offense, so that means they're the best offense.
Wait, what? They look like the best offense?
They do.
You have got to be smoking a pipe right now.
They look like they're the best offense.
Is it total
from a visual standpoint, Ballard?
What defenses have they played?
Huh?
What defenses have they played?
Oh,
they lost to Oregon. They haven't played.
So Ballard, you're saying
they played a decent Tulsa.
Okay. Let me ask you this thing. Since you're so fed up with that, do teams get better over the course of the season? How much better than Alabama's defense get after a Week 3 game against Ole Miss? How much better did they
get? He's not wrong, Ballard.
They shut Justin Fields down in the Natty. They went from giving the most yards in school history up to shutting down Justin Fields. So do teams not get better over the course of the season? Do they not?
Ballard, he's not wrong. He's not lying either.
No, I know.
Ohio State is the best offense in the country, and they will show it for the rest of the season. Now,
are they making the playoffs?
Will they make the playoffs? That's not 100%, but honestly, I feel like they will. And okay, fine. If they play a team, look, Iowa, they're not going to score 60 on them. I know that. They're not going to score. Well, Michigan may. Well, but look, Iowa, they're probably going to score in the 20s or 30s. Georgia, I think they'll get shut down by Georgia, but that's just Georgia being historical. But I think there's another thing you need to realize as well. The best offense in the nation right now is not as good as the best offense in the nation in previous years.
Right.
This offense is not 2020 Bama. It's not 2019 LSU, but it's the best offense right now. And I think that's what you're misunderstanding.
Yep.
And thing is, there is no 2020 Bama offense.
Dang. I didn't know Purdue has a really good defense. They're ranked 8th in the country.
Yeah, and Ohio State, look, they can easily get shut down by Iowa. They can also score in Iowa as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Georgia and Iowa have the 2 best defenses right now, in my opinion.
Do.
Yeah.
Georgia's the best overall defense. Iowa's the best second.
Iowa.
They're the best
their
second.
defense is better than Ohio State's
How
offense.
the heck is
that? Is fair.
Yeah, that's
how
fair.
How the heck is Pittsburgh the 3rd best offense in the nation?
So don't tell me that this Ohio State is unstoppable.
If Ohio State were to play Iowa today, I think Iowa would hold them between 21 and 35 points. Ohio State would score in that range, more than likely. That's probably what they would do. Now, Iowa, in result, would score on their defense. Because Ohio State's defense, they're not a good defense, but they can at least play football, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to pick today, I'd say Ohio State wins 35-28 in the Big Ten title against Iowa.
I seriously think Penn State could get.
Well, you're wrong.
Penn State's defense.
Penn State's losing 3 games this year.
What?
Yes. And you heard that, and Nate, you'll probably be happy for this. I think the Ohio State Michigan game will be 10-1 Ohio State and 11-0 Michigan, and Ohio State will win.
That's my example, but
that's my prediction.
It could be true.
Michigan they're a better team than Penn State. Ballard is clearly overrating Penn State.
But Jacob, will you think it's gonna be a close game if Michigan is 11-0 and Ohio State is 10-1 that game? Do you think it'll be close or a blowout?
Will be close. Decently, I guess. I think Ohio State will probably win by, I'd say, 2 touchdowns.
Okay, good. Because I don't want Ohio sucking that blowout again.
Not fun. And a loss is a loss, so you'd still face heat.
I know, but if they go 11-1, will they have a slight chance maybe go to playoffs? No?
Definitely. And here's how it worked out. Georgia's making the playoffs. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Yep. They're going 13-0. Put them in the playoffs. So basically, Alabama has to lose.
13-0. Are they beating Alabama?
Yes.
Are you saying they're going to beat
Alabama?
This
example, they would have to. Because if Alabama wins the SEC, Georgia and Alabama both get over Michigan. No. Oh, my God. Whatever. Georgia, let's just say Georgia beats Alabama. Okay, Alabama's out. Michigan would get over them. Cincinnati would. I think Michigan would. A 12-1 Michigan, or 11-1 Michigan.
Yeah.
If they look good, I think they could get over Cincinnati. So they're just going to have to hope for, I guess, the committee to make the decision.
Yeah, and
or they
can be like
lose a game.
You're not okay. we don't know if Alabama and Georgia are making the SEC. Now, Georgia, they have to beat Kentucky this weekend,
Yeah,
which
I
I'm
get
going to
it.
be honest, I think you can.
Can
Now,
you let me
the
make an example?
West, what?
My example is how Michigan could make the playoffs with an 11-1 record.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, well, we got to think. We don't know what the SEC title is going to look
I
like.
get it.
We don't know
Okay.
who's coming out.
But can I
of the
use an
East.
example of how it would happen?
You can,
Okay.
but I'm just saying. Like, I'm going to tell you this: Kentucky could get
Oh,
Georgia,
Jesus Christ.
no problem. But also, if Auburn wins the rest of their games, the SEC West is on the line at Jordan Hare, and Auburn could win the West because they only have 2
They could.
losses and
Auburn's
only one SEC loss against
yeah,
Georgia.
Auburn's not a good whatever. All right, let me make my
They're a great team. Now, okay,
Oh.
maybe they're not because they couldn't compete with Georgia's defense, but
They
But
can.
that's just that one game, though.
You can't judge a team off of one game. That's the rule. That's one of the rules.
but it
of
was
college
Georgia.
football.
Yeah, but
Now you can judge a team off of 2 games, and Auburn lost.
Well, let's see now. We have on our team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
That doesn't look.
That's what it's like when you're talking, Jacob. Anyway, carry on, buddy.
What?
sorry, Jay. I thought the thing was funny.
Okay. Well,
really
anyways, I didn't see it, but
well, that's okay.
let me make an example of how Michigan would make the playoffs. They would have to hope Georgia wins the SEC title. They'd have to hope that they would get in over undefeated Cincinnati, or they'd lose a game. They're gonna have to hope Oregon loses another game. So you would probably have to have an Iowa. Well, I don't even know how. You're gonna have to hope Ohio State loses. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that will happen. Like we had, if we're trying to get to the playoffs, we need Ohio State to lose.
So,
like if they're playing Iowa or Penn State, whoever. Wait, no.
well, outside of the conference, you would need. Actually, you would need. You need Oregon to lose. You need Alabama to lose in the SEC title. You would have to luckily get over Cincinnati, and you would have to hope that Ohio State. Well, no, Ohio State beat you. See, here's the struggle. You're gonna have to hope Iowa loses and they lose again. That's what you're gonna have to hope for. That's what it's gonna take for Michigan to make the playoffs at 11-1. You're gonna have to hope for Iowa to somehow lose in the regular season and then lose again.
No, hold on. You are mistaken. You need to beat Ohio State, and you got to beat Penn State. The Iowa's in the West, so Iowa losing.
No, you don't get my point.
What?
My point is Iowa. You need to hope Iowa loses the regular season game and loses the Big Ten title so they can be out. Okay, that's my point. You need to hope Oregon loses so they can be out. You need to hope Alabama loses to Georgia so they can be out. And you need to hope that the committee would pick you, 11-1 Michigan, over 13-0 Cincinnati. Or Cincinnati loses the game, but that's very unlikely. So that's what Michigan would need at 11-1 to get in. And I think...
Go ahead.
Huh?
Oh, I'm already done. Sorry.
The hardest thing is going to have that Michigan will have is the hardest thing that will happen is Iowa losing a regular season game. That's in Michigan's way because that's very unlikely to happen. And also another thing in Michigan's way is Cincinnati. Would they really put 11-1 Michigan over 13-0 Cincinnati? They might, but we don't know that. That's a decision of 15 people.
They can screw they can screw stuff up like they always do.
Yeah. So
I think Iowa's pretty much said they're winning the West and nobody else.
Well,
you should see the rest of their schedule. Purdue.
Well, here's another thing
at
that
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's easy.
No,
I agree, but here's another thing with Michigan, Ohio State. Another way they could get it. Let me tell you. You know what it is? Just beat them.
Yeah, basically.
That's another way. Just beat them. That's all they got to do, because Michigan has trouble beating Ohio State. Now I have to give
over like
now
10 to freaking 15 years, whatever it is.
now I have to basically now I have to basically mention essays on how Michigan could get in the playoffs at 11-1 by losing to Ohio State. I wouldn't have to do that if they could just beat them. So, what Michigan might, they might.
But we don't know yet.
We don't know, and if they don't beat them, it's very low because I was probably not going to lose a regular season game. The Cincinnati thing's in Michigan's way. Honestly, I think Oregon's going to win out. So they'll be 12, so that automatically put them over Michigan. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's 13-0 Georgia. It'll be 12-1 Ohio State at number 2, 12-1 Oklahoma at number 3, and 12-1 Oregon at number 4. That's the playoffs. And then
wait, Georgia's beating Alabama.
Yes.
You're sold on it.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that team confidence or like what's your actual scenario? Like, what are they going to do to beat a team that has already lost a game that they're pissed about?
Doesn't matter.
Talent?
Talent, and it doesn't matter. Because look at what Alabama did in 2019. They were so mad that they lost to LSU that they decided to lose to their biggest rival as well. The angry Alabama thing is overrated. It really is.
What?
It is. It's overrated. Angry Alabama only wins it because they're the best team in the country. They're not the best team in the country this year, and they won't be winning it. Well,
I know
they could.
They're not a championship level team this year.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
They're a championship level team. They're just Georgia's better right now.
Yeah, just for this year, but we don't know for next year. But
what Alabama would have to do is basically pull what Georgia tried to do in 2012. They basically have to steal the SEC title, even though they're not the better team.
2012 or 2000.
Well, basically the example is because Georgia basically tried to steal it from Alabama, who was clearly better than Georgia, but Georgia tried to steal it because, well, they had the opportunity. That's what Alabama.
You mean like steal the trophy or just steal the?
They were in there and they probably shouldn't have been, in a way. But they had an opportunity to win something they shouldn't have won.
Okay, what I'm saying is that Alabama was a much better team than Georgia in 2012. However, Georgia got a little bit lucky and got it to a real game where they had a chance to win. They were 3 yards away. So that's what's going to have to – and they're going to have to convert the 3-yard play as well. That's what's going to have to happen for Alabama to play. They're going to have to go into the game knowing they're not as good as a team, but they're going to have to try to kind of get lucky like Georgia did that in 2012, and they're going to have to just – it's going to have to come down to the last second, and they're going to have to try and win. And Ballard, I don't want to hear that Georgia shouldn't have been there. They were a better team than Florida that year. So I don't want to hear it. Just because Georgia wasn't as good as a team as Bama that year doesn't mean they didn't deserve to be there.
Hail to the conquering Michigan, hail Michigan, the champion of the West. Oh, sorry.
Of the West.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called the West, but that's their fight song right there.
Very, very strange, Nate. Very strange.
Well, I'm not even joking about that. That's literally their fight song.
I know. I'm just.
But I was confused too. Before I was a Michigan fan, because they're in the East, but champions of the West or whatever it is. But I know it's tradition and stuff, but it's weird. But it's a goal. It's a really iconic fight song, though.
Yeah, but I said that I think Michigan's a better team than Penn State this year. So they'll beat Penn State. I think they beat Michigan State.
Yeah, well, the only way Michigan beats Penn State is if Penn State's starting quarterback Sean Clifford is out.
That doesn't matter. Iowa made
Sean Clifford's out.
Okay, did you watch the Iowa Penn State game? Iowa made defensive line adjustments and defensive adjustments to stop Sean Clifford and Penn State. It just happened.
Actually, I didn't really watch it, but
you didn't watch it. Well,
I saw the score.
It had nothing to do with Sean Clifford getting injured.
Yeah,
it just happened.
So is he out though?
It doesn't matter as long as Michigan's defense plays like they're supposed.
Well, I know. I'm just saying because if Sean Clifford is playing, I'm saying he's pretty good at making defenses, or maybe Michigan's defense,
You know what Michigan has to worry about that game?
What?
Penn State's defense, and Michigan's an offensive team, so they're really gonna have to.
And defense maybe, but
no, well they're an offensive team, running team really.
So well, yeah,
to put up some points.
You know what it reminds me of? When remember when Bama used to run it all the time?
Yes.
That reminds me of that. Because Michigan's, I'm not trying to say Michigan's trying to copy what year when, if I'm correct, it was in 2009 when Bama.
The best Bama offensive line ever was 2012.
No, like when they run the ball every time on their play calling.
That was 2012. They ran
2012.
Up, down.
So that started in 2012. Okay. So I think they're trying to copy that. I think
that didn't start in 2012, but that was their best year running it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to copy that off of.
Well, I mean, their style. Style's not even close. What Michigan has speed on their running backs. Alabama did.
Right.
So it's not the same.
I mean, yeah, I know. Just saying, like, I in my opinion, I think they're trying to do like what 2012 Bama offense was.
I will give Michigan this though; they could be the best rushing team in the country.
They could be. Yeah,
they could be. I think now best running back, no. That's Bijan Robinson.
There's two actually. Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum.
Well, yeah, Blake. Well, I was talking about. No, I was saying that Michigan might be the best rushing team in the country.
Yep.
With Georgia. Georgia hasn't. I think Georgia is up there as well with Michigan as the best rushing team in the country. Best running backs? No. That's Bijan Robinson. Best rushing team? I'd say Georgia, Michigan, and Oregon. Well, Oregon, they've gone down a bit.
I know Ohio State's defense is horrible, but if
that's where Michigan needs to get them.
Yes.
Ohio State's tackling is not good. They need to run the ball. They need to break tackles. That's what they need to do.
Just run the ball, not throw it. I mean, you can throw it for like.
You got to throw it a little bit. This isn't 1980.
You're right, but you need to run the ball against Ohio
State. You need to run the ball most of the time.
Yeah. Ballard still there?
I don't know. He's muted. He's going to be back though. Don't worry.
He's probably doing something. But anyway,
Oregon was up there with the best rushing teams in the country, but their starting running back got injured, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard now.
Yeah, if Michigan beats Penn State at Penn State, and that'll make Jim Harbaugh a little safer than on the hot seat.
Well, really? Because Michigan's beaten Penn State before.
Yeah, well, with Jim Harbaugh at Penn State, never, but maybe from other coaches, maybe, but not Jim Harbaugh yet. But I'm just saying, if he does beat Penn State at Penn State, which is gonna be tough though.
If he beats James Franklin, oh boy, then he's got the ball rolling.
Yeah, if he does. Oh, forgot about Michigan State though.
Michigan State, look, they're a good team. They're gonna be a good team, but they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna win any big games.
Yeah, they might go to 9-3.
And when I say big games, that means they're not gonna beat Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State.
Now, they might give Michigan a good battle, but I think it's gonna be close. I think it's the week after next week, for Michigan game.
You see,
but
Iowa's defense is good and all, but the main difference between their defense and Georgia's defense is much better pass rush.
Yeah, well, I thought it was just run rush. I thought
What?
the rush defense.
Run defense? Oh, well, Georgia's run defense is much better as well. I mean, their physicality on defense is much better than Iowa's.
Yep.
Now, the one thing I'd say it's better on defense than Georgia is probably their secondary. But Georgia's pass rush is so good.
And Michigan maybe up there too for secondary.
That's been the biggest issue for teams outside the SEC is pass rush. And their defensive lines, they're just not as good. Now, their secondaries make up for it, and that's what they do. They go out and try to get the best corners possible. But
so, yeah.
What? Joe Burrow has a voice problem? I don't. Whatever.
What?
That's just silly. I don't even know.
Joe Burrow, wait, what?
He has a voice issue and could be out against it. I don't.
A voice issue? How does this happen?
I don't get this. Better stop calling audibles.
I mean, that was pretty funny, but to be honest, I think he's. I want to say a bust. He's gonna be really good.
Not a bust. That's just not happening.
But yep. And plus, I think if Michigan goes like, if they go like, what's it called 6-7.
Oh,
is that 12 games total?
You think they're gonna go 6-7?
No. Just for example, if they is 6-7 total 12 games, or is it 11?
What? No, 6-7 is 13.
Okay, yeah. If they go 6-7, include the bowl game.
I thought you went to school.
Well, I know. Just for example.
Okay.
If they go 6-7, Jim Harbaugh fired, and get Matt Campbell out of the door and sign him and make Michigan great again. I don't know.
Make Michigan great. Jeez.
That's a meme.
I want to ask this though: how did you get on Uncle Lou's morning show? I thought you were in high school.
No, I graduated.
Oh, you graduated. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I was class of 2020.
Oh.
So that's basically last year. No, 2 years ago, I think.
That makes more sense. I was just like.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you're confused because I go to like a young adult program, which is kind of like high school, but more like work stuff.
By the way, as I looked it up, Ohio State actually does have the number one offense by stats in the country.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. With my eyes, I thought they were the best offense, but I guess they're number one in stats as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know. This year's like so chaotic that I can't predict anything.
Yeah,
Just saying, because this year is like more chaotic than 2007.
That's a high standard, but
I mean, it might be actually if it happens, but
I know.
the way
What
it's
Michigan's going to
looking,
have to do, and they have a good pass defense. They're going to have to shut down Ohio State's pass offense because that's something that Ohio State really has right now. That's really putting them above everyone else on offense. Their passing is unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable, but it's
What I
better than.
missed?
all right. Hey Ballard, thanks for having me on because I'm getting tired, but and always go blue and suck nut suck.
Oh, are you getting out of here?
Yeah, I get out. I'm getting tired.
All right. See you, buddy.
See ya.
It's you and me now.
Yeah.
And well, so you think Penn State's going to beat Michigan and Ohio State?
I think they could.
Okay.
I mean, I think their defense is really talented.
Okay. Now here's my question: you think they go 12-0 or 11-1?
Well, they lost
They
to
did.
Iowa.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they did. Iowa beat them this
Oh yeah.
past weekend.
I forgot. I was
So I
just like,
guess I think they go 11-1. I think they use that
wait,
loss,
have to
and I
go.
think they just
That's a disadvantage Penn State has. They have a Big Ten
what?
loss now. They have a Big Ten loss already. And they haven't even hit Big Ten East. That's going to hurt them. That's really going to hurt them. So basically what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to win out in the Big Ten East. Or else they probably won't make the Big Ten title. That's probably why they might not get a rematch of Iowa. Because they already have a loss in the Big Ten. You know, you have to think about that as well. Ohio State is a loss too, but it's not in the Big Ten. So that won't affect them going forward. Well, playoff-wise, yes, but not Big Ten-wise. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Penn State's already been effective in Big
I
Ten.
get what
So
you're
if they
saying.
lose again, they're probably out. At least in the Big Ten title. And probably the playoffs as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, forget Penn's. I mean, what's really interesting is the fact that Michigan State, and Ohio State are all 3-0 undefeated in Big Ten play. They all have to play each other. I think Michigan State might have something up their sleeve, honestly, if you
Really?
ask me. I think
I don't.
so. I mean, they're looking
I
really
think they're a
good.
good team, but I don't think they're going to win the big games. Like, for example, I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. I don't think they're going to beat Michigan. I don't think they'll beat Penn State. Everybody else, they could probably handle. And they'll
Well, we
probably
don't
lose.
know exactly what's going to, like,
I say
any
they
given
probably
Saturday,
finish.
man.
I get it. They'll probably finish 8-4, losing to those three teams and somebody they're not supposed to.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about the Michigan game is that they get them at home. I think that's an advantage for the Spartans, and they've done
That's an
really well.
advantage.
First of all, they haven't lost. They have now. Really, Michigan has an edge in both offense and defense, but it's very slight. Um, Now, yards passing, like Peyton Thorne, I think is playing better, way better actually. If I mean on paper and just in general, I just think he's more talented than Caden McNamara. I think quarterback play comes down to it. I think receiving weapons. I just think that Michigan State would have an offensive advantage, if anything.
They do, but Michigan runs the ball very well. In fact, they might be the best rushing team in the country. They might. I think it's them, Georgia, I guess you could say Georgia, because they have like 4 NFL running backs on a college team. It was Oregon, but then they lost their. Huh?
4 of them? Really? You guys have 4 pro-style backs.
Well, they'll probably make the pros.
I mean, I could get 2 of them, but I mean,
well, okay. Well,
4?
2 are probably 2 are for sure going to the NFL this year, and the other 2 are probably going to stay another year and make the NFL next year after 2022.
Yeah.
So I'd say Georgia and Michigan are probably the top 2 rushing teams. Bijan Robinson's the best running back. Don't get me wrong there, but there's a difference between great running backs and great rushing teams. Oregon was up there, but then they lost their starters.
And that's really all Georgia. Georgia's just better at running the ball. And this isn't a knock on JT, but let's just be honest. Even in recent years, even with Jake Fromm, they were better on the run game than they were the pass game.
Well, what's the point of playing aggressive if you have the best defense and who knows when? There's no point in throwing the ball. There's no point in playing aggressive. So, I mean, like, that's why
because your defense is still going to give up points. Not a whole lot, but I mean, they're still going to – like, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect defense.
Look, if Georgia can score –
it's really good and really elite.
If Georgia can score 37 points on Arkansas, passing the ball 11 times, if they can score 34 points on Auburn, just running the ball over and over again, who needs to throw it? And Stetson Bennett did throw it against Auburn.
Stetson Bennett should be out there.
For what reason? Only because JT's injured.
Is JT actually injured? Because I was hearing. Let me explain this. I'm trying to remember who it was. Please tell me I put it in my phone.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
JOX. I'm fixing to explain if you just listen to me. So okay. I was listening to JOX or JAX Jax 94.5. It's a Birmingham sports radio station. And I don't remember who the host of the show was, but he had former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. Georgia great, by the way. He had him on. And I swear to you, without missing a beat, I almost pissed my pants. I was laughing so hard, but I'm driving. So anyway,
why?
That man sat there and said, and they were going on about Georgia, their defense is elite. They're really, really great. And kind of the same stuff you guys keep saying. And I'm not even disagreeing with it, but they were getting into the whole, oh yeah, Georgia, Alabama, most likely for the SEC title and everything like that. And it got to the point about talent on offense. So George Pickens could come back. We got Kyrus Jackson. You got all these, you got all these players. And he got to the point of quarterbacks, and he said, JT Daniels is great. You got good depth with Carson Beck and Brock Vandagriff. But if I'm sticking to the best quarterback that's going to be best for the team, then damn it, I'm going with Stetson Bennett.
Now, who said that?
Aaron Murray said that. He said, I would rather go with Stetson Bennett than JT Daniels. And he said why, too, because of his better knowledge of the game.
Hold on. I just thought of this.
He said that.
I thought of this. You know how y'all keep rambling on about how 2022 is going to be Bama's year and how Georgia's not going to be that good?
I guess so.
And it's not mainly you. It's mainly Jeff Webster, which it's 2021, sir, first of all. And second of all, Georgia's not going to go away. But anyways, if JT doesn't play this season, he's going to come back. There's no way he's going to the NFL with playing like 4 games. Did y'all think about that?
No, not at all. What are your thoughts, though, on this with what Aaron Murray said?
He's a former quarterback, so he probably knows what he's talking about, but he might be doing it in the wrong way.
I'm not doubting that, but at the same time, like, whenever I see Stetson, like, okay, he's not a terrible quarterback. Like, I feel like you Georgia fans make him out like he's a
He's not
bad quarterback.
terrible.
He's not
There's a
terrible,
lot of SEC
but
teams
there's
he
a
could start
lot of
for.
flaws that he has.
There's a lot of SEC teams he could start for though.
That's not Georgia. I mean, he can start for Georgia.
He'd start for Vanderbilt. He'd start for Tennessee, South Carolina. Who else? No, not Kentucky, not Florida. He'd start for Mississippi State. Well, maybe. I think he would, right? Yeah. He'd start for LSU. He'd start for Auburn. He'd start for no, he wouldn't start for Arkansas. Not Ole Miss. Not Alabama. Texas A&M. He might start for A&M. You know, he might. So there's a lot of SEC teams he could start for. He just can't start at Georgia. Well, and he's doing it right now.
Can I ask? Is it system wise or because of like where the standard is, and he just doesn't fit up to it? That's what I want to know.
I think. Well,
kind of both in a way.
Of why he's doing bad.
No, why he can't start for Georgia?
I guess it's just because of what JT did at the end of last season. I mean, that's probably what it is. In fact, that's the only reason why we're talking about JT Daniels. Because of what he did at the end of last season. There is nothing he's done this season.
What was his key? Was it the Mississippi State game was the key game?
Yeah, because he threw 400 yards. He threw 400 yards against Mississippi State. He had a great game against, kind of had a down game against South Carolina, but we ran the ball the whole time.
And here's the thing, though, and I'll say this: Mississippi State was not even that great last year, and we're not going to put down any team because of 2020, but the fact that Georgia had a quarterback throwing 300, 400 yards in a game, regardless of opponent, I think is pretty fantastic. And
then the Missouri game,
you got to tip your cap to JT
Missouri
for
game
doing that.
The Missouri game also helped him, and he threw 400 yards on Cincinnati, a top 10 defense. So it's like, well, now he's the starter. But here's the thing: if he doesn't play this year, except like maybe 3 games, he's gonna come back. And people are going to be worried again. Now, is Georgia going to win the night 2 years in a row? See, that's a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But they can win the SEC 2 years in a row. Because that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if they do win the SEC 2 years in a row and they make the playoffs, there's going to be some team out there. If Georgia won it 2 years in a row, that would be really...
It won't happen, but...
That would be... I don't know what to even say, but
it's hard to do stuff 2 years in a row.
It's hard to do it, but
here's proof.
And if they do, if they do win the SEC, I'd say they have a shot. But there's going to be some team out there that's going to go neck and neck with Georgia, and Georgia's going to have, and where Georgia wins or loses it, it's going to be a close game. And the SEC title is definitely going to be close. Well. That's if JT Daniels comes back. If he doesn't, then Alabama might, I guess you could say,
like whoop them, right?
Not blow
like they did last year.
Not blow them out, just I guess handle them.
Just like pull away, right?
Yeah, but I think Georgia's defense is going to be great in 2022. I'm convinced 100% that any Georgia defense that is coached by Kirby Smart under the rest of his career. Is going to be great. I've been convinced in that way. Offensively, though, I always know it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And look, next year's defense is not going to be good as this year's defense. I know that.
You guys are. And I think the thing about Georgia is. It's like Alabama where they're going to consistently have a top 10, if not top 5 defense. But it's not a guarantee that it's just going to get better and better and better. It's not like that.
Well, my opinion is until Kirby Smart leaves Georgia, Georgia will always have a top 5 defense. That's my prediction.
Okay.
But now, does that mean they're going to win the Natty every year? No. Does that mean they're going to win
No,
the
they're
SEC
only
every year?
winning one. They're only getting one. Let's be honest. You guys just need one.
We
Right?
only need one, but we're going to get more. Yes, I think we would. Offensive, well, and that Kirby's always going to have to hire the best offensive coordinator he can. I think he's doing that right now with Todd Monken. He is two of the best two of the best coordinators in college football. Todd Monken and Dan Lanning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that he has over Nick Saban. He is way better coordinators than Nick Saban does. And that's not even a question. But look, Nick Saban might be being selfish and saying if I get great coordinators or whatever, they're gonna it's gonna mess up my stature or whatever. I don't know, but Kirby's hired I think Kirby probably is the best 2 coordinators in the nation. I can't name a better offense and defensive coordinator duo. I mean, can you?
I don't think so.
Yeah. And I mean, Bill O'Brien was not a smart hire. That's just I don't even know what Nick Saban is thinking there.
Oh, come on. I thought I just found this one. Hold on. Maybe it's this?
What are you talking about?
Hold on. I'm going to mute myself, make sure this is it. Because I found a podcast of this show that I'm talking about with Aaron Murray was on that Birmingham sports radio station the other day.
Oh,
hold on. Just give me one second.
Okay, I'll get to you later.
Crap, it's not wanting to load. Hold on. Let me try something.
Oh, did you see me upload that SEC Shorts?
No.
Oh, I uploaded an SEC Shorts. It's called, I think it's called Lost Footage of SEC Shorts or whatever. Because they didn't upload it to their YouTube channel, so I decided.
There's certain.
Yeah. And since they decided that they didn't upload to their YouTube channel, I decided to maybe, I guess, upload it to mine instead. The Buccaneers play tomorrow, by the way, if you're making plans at night.
I don't think I'm working. I mean, I'll watch it. Yeah.
They're playing the
Eagles. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The Eagles are
hearing, no crap, who was I listening to? Oh, no, I was joining in on Bucko's Locker. He's a YouTuber talking to Tampa Bay Bucks. I was just asking about like our secondary and everything.
Oh,
hold on. I might have found it, but give me 1 second. Hold on.
In second half,
can you hear
we,
this?
we hope to wear you down. I think mentally and physically.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The defense was worn down because of the lack of scoring on the offense, the lack of energy, and honestly, I'll say this: there was a lack of energy in the stadium. Being such a big game. I was a little bit disappointed in the Auburn fans. First quarter, it was great. It was loud as crap. You're in the ball game. You're screaming, yelling. Second half, it wasn't like that. I mean, it was dead. And it was not, I'll tell you that, being in that stadium, it was not like that in the second half. But I think Georgia, without having to deal with a 12th man, got to a nice comfort level offensively. They were rolling. And they took some shots. Auburn did what they need to do when it comes to, hey, we're going to try to slow down the run. We're going to, and that's a great example. Ladd McConkey, one-on-one, he gave him time. Yeah, the ball was a little bit underthrown, but he gave an opportunity to make the catch. A couple plays there, they scored a touchdown. A few plays later, they're running the football well. Next possession, they come out first play.
Okay, I don't know where it is.
Okay, well, I was like that.
But anyway, Aaron Murray, and I remember he said it because I was laughing my tail off in the vehicle. He basically had said, and I don't remember how he put it, but he wasn't downgrading JT Daniels, but he was saying if I'm Georgia, I'm putting in Stetson Bennett a little bit more. I'm switching to him as the starter only because he's more experienced and he's
whatever.
Mobile and I'm just like, stop.
JT Daniels is a senior. How does experience even
I thought he was
matter?
a junior, but whatever.
No, Daniels is a senior. Experience doesn't matter when it comes to seniors and super seniors. It's the same thing. They both have experience.
It's all about talent. Forget experience. I hate this. He's more experienced. He knows more. He know, which I can understand in certain cases. Like we've seen 5 stars.
You should not be arguing experience with a super senior against a senior. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Experience is overrated. I'm sorry. Experience is just overrated.
Yeah.
The only reason why you should be using experience is if it's like the guy's first game or whatever, and he doesn't know the plays. You need to put experience one in some. But by the third game and fourth game of the season, you should try to get the more talented guy out there.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. That being said, we know that. So okay, JT Daniels is the key no-brainer starter for Georgia. You're saying go with more experience or more talent instead of experience. So who are you putting at quarterback number 2 for Georgia behind JT?
It's not Stetson Bennett. It's Carson Beck because Brock Vandegrift, he doesn't have experience. So
at least Carson does.
So I would put Carson Beck at 2. I guess Stetson at 3 because Brock Vandegrift hasn't thrown a pass yet. So I guess he's 4.
Yeah.
Which is kind of frustrating to know that Brock Vandegrift still hasn't thrown a pass yet.
Yeah. And I asked this in since there's still plenty of football left. If JT goes down, you have to have a guy ready to put out there. But also going forward in the next couple years, if JT, he can, and who knows, he might go pro this year. If not, maybe he comes back or whatever. But let's say he does next year going into it. What?
I said depends when he comes back. If he plays, I guess, enough games where NFL scouts will pay attention to him, he'll go pro. But
yeah. But even if he does go pro, like you said, who is next in line? Because I know it might seem like it's Stetson because experience, but man, Georgia is one of those teams, and again, I apologize. I know I might make fun a little bit, downgrade them. I know they're really good. And it's at the point now for Kirby where you have to make a decision that if you really want to be a winning program, which it seems like they're on their way to that, and they are, but you have to forget experience, put the talented guy out there.
I think it's unfortunate, but I do think we are going to play Stetson Bennett next year at starting quarterback. And because of it, I think
so we're saying Missouri or Florida for the East, right?
no, not necessarily. Although I do think Oregon will probably beat us if we do start Stetson Bennett. So
okay,
we'll probably start 0-1. Well, I'm not going to go with that. It's like a year ahead. We don't got to worry about that right now. But I'm predicting with even losing everybody, the defense will still be great. Quarterback play might be a little bit scarce if Daniels doesn't come. If we start Stetson, but the running game should be pretty good with Kenny McIntosh and George is going to be a great team next year. I don't get this whole and he can come right now if he's mad at me. But look, Jeff Webster's wrong about how George is going to become this just worst team next year. He's wrong.
They might not be as good, but they're not going to suck. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot now that, yeah, they'll lose, but they'll still, like, they'll have young talent, but it's not, it's talent. And it's Georgia. And even after losing, like, you know, like with Jake Fromm, the year you guys made the title, you had Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb, guys like Roquan Smith. You lost some key pieces. You still competed and won the East at least.
Well, you have to have this. Kirby didn't have 4 full recruiting classes then. Now he does. So now every year George is going to have talent. So I'm going to ask Jeff Webster this when he comes in. Ask why Alabama is going to be able to have young players just become college football superstars, but Georgia can't have the same with their young players.
I don't know.
I think he's just overlooking that, and I think it does have to do part of maybe he's just not confident in Alabama this year, and he's wishing and hoping that Alabama next year is going to do something. But Georgia's not going to be a bad team next year.
They're not.
If we start Stetson,
they're taking a step back, but
they'll take a step back, but they're not. They'll probably
the only question I have is they're not falling off completely, but I'd be interested to see if there are teams like Florida or Missouri or whoever that maybe take a step forward in the East to
I don't know about Florida.
Not win it, but challenge them.
I don't know about Florida because my prediction is that Dan Mullen gets fired and they're going to be in a full rebuild with not rebuild, but they're going to have a new head coach. So I think they'll mess things up for Florida. If they did keep Dan Mullen, I do think they'd have a shot. If they fire him, though, and that's probably why they shouldn't fire him, because if they do, that's going to mess up the year where Georgia's a little bit vulnerable. So, look, they can do what they want, but if they want to mess up that year, that's their choice. But they're not winning the East for the first time head coach.
Yeah.
Now, Missouri's really disappointed me this year. I think Elijah Drinkwitz is a good head coach, but he has to he's got to get stuff rolling there. And Traveling Fools is in the chat.
What's
I
up?
wonder if he's going to join.
I don't know.
Maybe you should go to practice at Miami and try out for kicker or something. Jeez. Georgia, okay, losing to Oregon, that might be a stretch. But if we start Stetson Bennett, we might.
I want to look at their schedule. Actually, I'm curious about this. Are you guys open with Oregon?
Yeah, week 1.
That's going to be fun. That'll be good because their defense and everything. I think with the way they're recruiting is looking really good.
Who, Georgia?
No, well, Georgia, yes, but I think even Oregon just a little bit.
Oregon's.
They're doing okay. I mean, it could be
That
better
matchup is full 50-50 for next year.
for right now. But
right
again,
now.
we'll see. We still got to
Yeah.
get through this season, and we got to get through.
Here's the thing about next year. We
offseason.
talk about next year and how players develop. Look, recruiting's 6 months less. We have the transfer portal next year, which who knows how that's going to work out with all the crazy things that happen in the transfer portal nowadays. I mean, look, you might have Bryce Young transfer to Georgia. I mean, who knows?
What? You wish. You freaking wish.
I
No.
don't care. Honestly.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we got Ty Simpson coming in next year.
No. That's not going to happen. What I'm basically trying to say is that anything can happen in the transfer portal.
Yeah, this is
Sanford. We basically play everybody plus Oregon. That's it.
I know who. Hey, shout out to Saban's alma mater, Kent State Gold Flashes. There you go.
Get a whipping. Who do we play out the West? Mississippi State. Okay, that's
Mississippi State and Auburn. Yeah.
Well, we play Auburn every year, but
you want to see what Bama's got in 22?
Texas. I know.
We open with Utah State. Our schedule for 22 is weak as hell.
Y'all play? Who do y'all play out of the East? That's the only thing I don't know.
Out of the East, it's Vandy.
Oh Jesus! Y'all got.
We play ULM, Utah State, Vandy. I want to see who. We always get the cupcake game before the Iron Bowl. Austin Peay's a good school. I've heard about them, but I mean, come on.
Don't even act like they can.
No. I mean, for Bama's
now Ole Miss, that Ole Miss team. Well, no, Matt Corral's gone, so that's gonna.
I'm excited for this. So
you
Texas
know who will cause?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
Bama's 100% moved away from neutral site games for now on. They don't have any
not
more
from
left.
now on, but it'll be a little while because they have home and home.
At least under Saban, they won't do neutral site games anymore. He's moved on from that.
This right here, though. Now they might destroy USF in a couple years, but you got to understand, being from Florida. I live in Alabama now, but you guys know that I was in Florida for like maybe 10 years, as I mentioned. A lot of people I know, big USF fans and near USF and everything.
Have you ever?
I mean, I'd watch it for that.
How many Alabama games have you been to?
None.
Oh, really?
I have yet to actually go to a game because I lived in Florida my whole life. So, I mean, I couldn't just.
Are you going to plan to go to one?
I'd like to, not this year, but maybe next year. If I save my money, I'd love to make it to a game. I'd probably stick to home. I might try to I might go to the opener just to check that out, or maybe go to a game like Vandy. I don't want to go to anything too big right away. Although, let's be honest, you can't pass up an Iron Bowl.
Okay, that's going to be it, Alabama.
I want to see, speaking of, I want to see what Harson's getting into in the next couple years. I want to see 22 Auburn.
Auburn has who they have next year.
They got to play Mercer, San Jose.
Oh, they got Hey, that's right.
It's a home and home. Yeah, they get to host them. They got to play. Oh, Auburn hosts Missouri. That could be good. LSU, of course. At Georgia, we'll see. At Ole Miss. That's not too bad of a schedule. That's pretty good.
That's not. Although you do have to play Georgia and Alabama every year, so it's kind of like, you're kind of screwed in those situations. So I want to see. I don't know who I want to see. Just pull up the team.
Oh, hell yeah. How about this? Ohio State, Notre Dame for the opener next year?
I heard about that. I heard plays. So I basically looked through a schedule for 2022 one time, and then I saw Ohio State and Clemson on schedule. And I was like, oh, boy.
Wait, on the regular season?
Yeah.
Wait, you're talking about for Notre Dame?
Yeah, they play Ohio State and Clemson.
Home and home with Notre Dame. Yeah, there you go.
I
But
don't know if it's
there's
home.
quite, dude. I'm telling you, going forward with these home and homes and non-con games, they're going to be
All I'm
all.
going to say is that we need to. I don't want to 100% move away from neutral sites, but I do want to see some home and homes again. Alabama's moved on from the home and homes. Georgia still has a couple of home and homes. Or Georgia has they played Clemson this year. Oregon's going to be their last neutral site game, and then they're moving on to home and homes. With Oklahoma, well, I don't even know what's going to happen there because Oklahoma's joining the SEC. But I do think Georgia would probably play them in 2023. Oklahoma wouldn't be. Now, 2027, that's a different story. Georgia's either going to have to find a replacement game or something for that because we know Oklahoma's joined the SEC before that. Jeez. I know we play UCLA in the future. We played Clemson again.
Yeah.
We play Florida State. Clemson 2 more times. A lot of teams are moving away from the neutral site games. They want to play home and homes again.
I honestly, I'd like that if I think about it now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You can't really play big home and home games week 1 anymore. So week 1 isn't going to be as good as a week anymore.
That's true.
All the big home and because every time 2 teams want to schedule a big week 1 game, they're going to be asked by all these sponsors and everything to go to this neutral site game.
Yeah.
That's why Alabama is week 2. They know that they're going to get asked these questions, and they don't want to be asked questions. So they're scheduling a home and home in week 2. So it's going to kill week 1, but I mean, look, you do have to play your home stadiums, and that's home and homes are good, and we need a little bit more of them. Jeez, where do you think Dan Lanning's going to go after this year?
Lanning.
Yeah.
Remind me, he's the coach of. Is he a coach?
Jesus. Okay, he's the defensive coordinator of Georgia.
Oh, is he leaving? Like the.
Why
Is
would
that
he not leave? There's no way he's going to stay. I mean, look, unless he wants to be a loyal defensive coordinator like Kirby Smart was for like 8 years, he might, but I don't really see why he would stay, honestly. He's going to go somewhere. There's no way he doesn't. I mean, like, so where do you think he's going to go?
That's a good question.
He might be loyal and stay at Georgia. He might, but I mean,
The
that would
question is, because normally you see a guy leave a team like Georgia, he wants to go be a head coach somewhere. Who's going to need a head coach? That's a big time program that might need some attention.
my top two teams that he might go to is LSU and
there you go.
LSU, and he might go to Miami if they really fire Manny Diaz, which that'd be stupid, but we know Miami.
Do you think Coach O? I know he's still. Is he lasting this whole season and then getting canned, or you think he gets fired within the next month or so? That's a big debate right there.
I'll say this: he'll last the season, but he won't last the off season.
Oh yeah, unless he turns something around in the next month and gets some like winning. I don't know. He'd have to like pull an upset over Bama or beat A&M, which I mean, he's not going to pull an upset. I mean, this isn't 2019 anymore. Sorry, Coach O.
This is what Alabama's problem is, and really LSU's problem too. They relied too much on the 2 to 3 year period where it was all passing, no defense, no running. All you needed was a quarterback and a couple of wide receivers and pass it for 700 yards. They got out. Nick Saban and Oregon thought those were the new ways of college football. They decided to get comfortable with that, to prepare for it, and they were wrong. The game changed back to the way it was, and now they're both stuck in a situation where they don't run the ball as well, they don't play defense as well, and they're really all pass and nothing else right now. Well, Alabama's not nothing else, but you can't tell me Alabama's run game and defense is as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
So you think Nick Saban probably got a little bit too comfortable with that and probably thought the game was going in a different direction?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and I think he got unlucky with that. And the game's going back to running the ball on defense. And passing's still a part of the game too, but it's all even now. And I think that, and Saban is going to recruit probably more even now.
Yeah.
In fact, he might go back to his old ways of just getting a great offensive line, great defense, and running backs. But I think he got too comfortable with that. I really do. I mean, look, all offseason, we all thought the game was going in a different direction as well.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, let's not sit here and act like that we thought defenses were coming back this year.
It seemed like it. You're talking about going into the season?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for Bama, yes, but anybody else, it seemed like offenses, especially Clemson, who's just a straight disappointment and dead now. Yeah.
Like going into the season, we knew what it was going to be, right? Or at least we thought it was. We were talking about how it's an offensive game. We know the offense is going to score in the 40s and 50s. Uncle Lou even said that basically every team that makes playoffs or wants to contend for a title is going to have to be able to score 40 points per game because you can't stop a great offense in today's game. And we all agreed with it. Everyone knew what was going to happen, and the defenses just come out of nowhere. They find new plays, new formations, and they start coming back.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing to see, but it really surprised us. And I think it surprised Nick Saban as well.
He's like, wait a minute.
Because, look, I know, but I think what happened is he got too he thought the game was going in a direction where passing was just going to overrule everything else. I think he thought the game, like everybody else.
And do you think it caught up with them and that's why they lost last week in a way? Because faced one of
I think what happened is he thought, well, you can't, before the season and years past, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think he thought, well, you can't win without a passing offense, but if you do have a passing offense, you don't really need anything else. So I think that was his mindset. And then once the season started, he was like, oh, defenses are coming back. Run games are coming back. Rushing attacks are coming back. Read options are coming back. Mobile quarterbacks are coming back. So I think just kind of like he was just like, oh. And I think now he's in a position where he's trying to play with a team that he built for the 2 to 3 year period of all offense and all passing.
Yeah.
Now, we know what's going to happen, right? We know Saban's going to recruit equally like he used to. And honestly, he might go back to his old ways of run game and defense. He might. But he's in a position right now where he's got to play with the players he prepared for the 2 to 3 year period. So I think he just relied too much on what he thought the game was going to be. And maybe that's a mistake. But it is a mistake right now. But so, but I think the same thing happened with LSU. Ed Orgeron thought this was going to be. He thought the rest of his career was going to be 2019. All he needed was a quarterback and some wide receivers, and he passed it all the time. And he didn't have to, and he didn't need to run it. And boy, was he wrong. LSU can't run the ball, and it's hurting them ginormously. Because you know what teams are doing to them right now, right?
Yeah.
They're running the 3-2-6, and the same thing is happening to Mike Leach.
Anyway, that's it. I mean, listen, man, I got to get out of here, get some sleep and all that, man. But it was fun talking with you.
All right, Crimson Brave. What are you talking about, man? Of course the offensive line is a problem. I know
It is.
but y'all built your team into a pass-happy team where you don't run the ball and play defense as well as
We
you
should
used
be
to.
running. Bryce Young shouldn't be trying to throw the ball in the air as much as he is.
Well,
He's great at it, but I just don't. I
y'all-
mean, the receivers are young. Brian Robinson's pretty. He's been there quite some time.
well,
I think we need to let him run the ball more, honestly.
well, I'm going to say this to Crimson Brave. Y'all built your team to a pass-happy team, and you're paying the price for it this year. And now you have to recruit back into your old ways. You're acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what's going on with Alabama. They're playing pass. They built their team to a pass-happy team because they thought that was going to happen for the change of the games, and they were wrong. Nick Saban was wrong.
All that says you about to roll with the time.
We need to start playing these young receivers because Mechie is too. Because, well, that's for Alabama to deal with, I guess.
Anyways, man, I got to get out of here. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
All right. See ya.
Yep.
Go Dogs.
Roll Tide. Yeah. Thanks, Jacob. Dropped the link a few times, but I'm going to shut it down now. I love each and every one of you. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up. Big changes coming to the channel. A lot of things happening in 2022. For now, just kind of ride out 2021, get through college football season, and pretty much it. I mean, you got baseball, you got the playoffs. I think my Rays have been eliminated now, thanks to the Astros, or no, I think the Red Sox actually swept them. Anyways, credit to them anyway. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up. I love y'all. Remember that. God bless. And as always, folks, roll tide roll. Love y'all. Peace out. Bye.
Well, let's see now. We have on our team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Okay. Roll down Tide.